Sorry.
So my name is Barry. My question is whether or not concussions can be prevented through better engineered helmets or if the game needs to be changed completely. So the onset of concussions has actually come about due to the better engineered helmets. So back in the day when they played with leather helmets, they weren't using their head they weren't leading with their head into hits, so concussions weren't as big of a thing. They were leading with their shoulders. So since they have these big helmets protecting their heads, they tend to use them they lead with their head, and that's the big thing with targeting. They're trying to prevent players leading with their heads, trying to bring back on the concussions. But with concussions, it's a risk of the game. It's the nature of football, like they're gonna hit. So there's no way to avoid it without completely changing the game. If you completely change the game, it'll drive away a lot of the fans who love the heavy hitting nature of football. Over-engineering the helmets won't do much because it's still the G-forces, the brain experiences are still going to be the same from hitting and stopping. The players are becoming more informed with medical technology. They can examine the brains of football players after they pass, and what they're seeing is pretty much every football player has CTE, which it affects the way their brains function. There's a lot of players that are committing suicide and having a lot of problems with violence and things. And some players have actually retired because they don't think it's worth the risk of having concussions. So there's really no way around it. Players who play understand the risk, and they know that there's pretty much no way to avoid it. The better engineered helmets have actually made it worse because, like I said, they use the helmet to apply a larger hit. So, any questions?
So a better way to engineer is to not engineer?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think less concussions would happen if no pads were used at all?
Probably so.
Like rugby?
Yeah.
The problem with that
I
is
don't know.
the forward pass. So in rugby, you only pass backwards. You usually see your front view of whoever's coming at you. In football, you throw it forward.
You're looking back.
10 people around you that you don't know where they're at.